And a good Monday, everybody. Welcome in. Chase and Big Joe, 1025 The Game. It is a Reaction Monday presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. That is what we're going to do all show long. React to a big weekend in sports, including the Titans. 0-2 on the season after falling to the Rams yesterday at Nissan Stadium, 33-19. I had to remember the name of the stadium. That's how bad this is right now.
Try to forget all of it, man.
But it was a good weekend for the Commodores, a good weekend for the Blue Raiders, bad weekend for the Vols. But we will cover it all here today on the program. How you doing, JoJo?
Good, man. It's I love Mondays, and I love every day. But the chance to talk about our favorite football team down the road, who's just, my goodness, man. It's just 0-2. I don't. There's really nothing. I mean, there's a few positives here and there to talk about that we talk about every week. Cam Ward and a few players here and there. I don't know, man. And I think it's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets better. But we're going to see it play out in real time. And I hate it. God, I hate it. They're the worst team in football.
So I want you to tell me if you agree or disagree with this statement. The statement is they have the quarterback in spite of bad play calling and an inept head coach.
That's a good way to put it. Why? My thing, Denver, why do you go for it on your own 5-yard line when you haven't gone for the game? You turn it over, Denver scores, you get a touchdown, you're leading, you're trailing at halftime. Yesterday, he settled for a field goal. He settled for a field goal at the half. Go for it.
Yep.
I tell you all the time, fortune favors the bold. Tried and true throughout history. Go for it. Oh, we're going to settle for a field goal. That is a losing mentality.
Yeah,
settle for field goal.
Losing. Like this team is not in the position where they can settle for anything.
No.
I think that they have to take opportunity whenever the opportunity presents itself. And I thought the play calling. I was at the game yesterday, watching it, and I'm up in the stands, and all of us are going, "Why are you being so bleeping conservative?" Because he was like, I get every coach is going to tell you, well, you have to establish the run, then you can use play action. Okay, well, you have a quarterback with a really good arm that can sling it. You have hungry receivers that had a bad week. Like, if it's me, and granted, I am not a coach. I'm not pretending to be a coach. But if it's me, I'm slinging it. I am
all day long.
Like, you're just going out there and you're trying to go big play. And then, early on, like, and again, I don't have a problem with Pollard running the ball. Pollard's a good running back. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But I think you got to take more chances downfield. And you could tell that he was being conservative and to protect the quarterback. Like, just he's fine. He didn't say that. I mean, I think that's what he's doing.
Well, he's too conservative. Great. I understand mixing, matching, misdirection plays, and all that. Calvin Ridley can't catch a pass, right?
Yeah, that's a problem.
So they're paying him
6 targets, 3 catches,
$23 million a year for what? To drop balls? I'm going to beat the dead horse again this week. Call up Restrepo.
Yeah.
Call up somebody who wants to be not afraid. Calvin Ridley caught a great pass 4 yards out of bounds yesterday. Yep. Great job. I'm tired of you. And I told Dr. Crane this. Here's how you fix this team, right? One time I got bad gas in my car with the mechanic. So what do? He's like, you got to flush the gas.
Bad gas.
Every day.
Yeah.
He goes, you got to flush the gas out. You got to flush it all out and start anew. That's what this team's got to do. They've drafted awful. They're free. Dan Moore today. Dan Moore right now should be applying for a job as a Walmart greeter because all he does as left tackle is greet people. How are we doing today? You having a good day? Here's my quarterback. Go sack him. Yeah. That's all he does. Terrible. The evaluation's terrible. You have some really terrible football players on this team. Flush them out. Start anew. I do believe in Borgonzi. I think his football acumen is good. Keep him there. But everybody else, you got to start new. Brian Callahan is 3-16 as a head coach. Is that right? 3-14, lost 2? Yeah, yes. 3-16.
Yep.
It ain't getting better, Chase. It's not getting any better. He doesn't know what he's doing.
No, and the thing is, I was hoping he would know enough to at least like I hear Mo Sizlak I hear a Simpsons episode with Mo in it. Like, you couldn't even give me 3 rounds. Like, that's how I kind of feel right now. It's like I give me half a season of something.
Right. Did you believe for a second they were going to win yesterday? Be honest.
Yes.
You did?
Going into the game?
No.
Absolutely.
During the game, did you believe they were going to win?
At halftime, yes, I did.
You really thought they would win?
They had the lead at halftime.
But you know what he's done? It never gave me confidence. They were putting the Rams away. Never.
It was 13-10 at halftime. They had made some big plays. And that, I mean, look, it was a broken play. It was a stupid play. But holy crap, it was an awesome play with Cam Ward throwing across his body and finding Io Manor in the back of the end zone.
Right.
That was one of those from Major League where Lou Brown's like, hey, that was an incredible catch. Don't ever effing do it again. Like,
what I tell you all the time.
That's what that was.
Right. I tell you all the time. I'd rather be lucky. I'd rather be lucky than good. That was lucky on that play. They scored.
That was a guy that could improvise, though.
They've scored 1 touchdown in 8 quarters. Now, look, I'm telling you, I think this draft class that they pulled in here.
I think it's not bad.
Not bad at all. Because you got guys, although I see more Jackson Slater. He was on the inactive list yesterday, the guard out of Sacramento State. I like Io Manor. I like DK. I like Cam Ward. I like Gunnar Helm. I think those guys are really good. Oladejo, I think he has no idea what he's doing. He's trailing every play. You can watch that. And you don't take a project.
He's shown a couple flashes, but right, you don't take a project.
Right, you don't do that. So, I mean, there is some hope you got for this football team here. There's not enough. Did you watch you were gone, but the Chiefs-Eagles game? Right?
I watched it.
Do you think the Titans can compete with those two teams?
Not a chance.
Not a chance, right?
Nope.
But at one point, the Chiefs were terrible.
But here's the Chiefs will probably figure it out because Paul, give us a call back later. We're talking Titans right now. We'll get to the Vols a little later on in the show. The Chiefs will probably figure it out, but right now they don't look good. They got major holes because Kelsey's done.
He's done,
and so therefore he doesn't have anybody to throw to.
Kelsey looks completely different today than he did 3 years ago.
Yeah,
he was a thick muscle dude. Now he's just riding out, and I don't care. I'd tell it to his face. I don't care. He dropped the pass yesterday in the end zone. That's a touchdown.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce of old catches that, and it has nothing to do with Taylor Swift. It has nothing to do with her. He's just, I think he should have retired last year. There comes a point where you say goodbye. Anyway, I'm not talking about the Chiefs anymore. But this team, I mean, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And now you got the Colts coming in here. The Colts have done something that no team in the Super Bowl era has done. You know what that is?
What?
Their first 2 games, they have not punted one time. Thank God, because punters are not people. So thank God, no punting. And the Colts roll in here with a pretty good team. They're playing for Jim Irsay.
The thing on them is, and I think they'll come in here and beat the Titans. I think the Titans will start 0-3 based on what I've seen. Daniel Jones, the league will figure out, and he will figure out that he's Daniel Jones eventually.
Really?
I think.
Maybe he won't. Maybe he needs this third opportunity. Maybe this is the opportunity he needs.
Yeah.
We've seen it before, man.
I mean,
all these Darnold.
What kills me is you got all these coaches. Like, we sit here and say Brian Callahan's never called plays before and he needs to give it up and he can't do it as a head coach. And all of that is correct right now. The thing that drives me nuts is, Shane Steichen didn't call plays. Zach Taylor didn't call plays. Now, granted, you get Joe Burrow. Okay, I'll give you that. But, like, there's all these examples of guys that are out of this McVay, Shanahan tree,
right,
that never called plays and become head coaches, and then they call plays, and it works just fine, with or without the star quarterback.
Maybe.
So why couldn't this freaking organization figure it out?
Maybe you're just not good.
Yeah.
It's okay. If that's not your calling.
Yeah.
No pun intended. That if for Callahan, but I don't see the anger in him. Why did he not go for Calvin Ridley when he dropped a pass? Why was he more mad at some stupid penalty on the field than he was at the players not doing their job? I need to see anger. At some point, you got to get pissed off because if not, it ain't working.
By the way, Dr. Crane, I'm just going to tell you, it is going to be a miracle if I get through this 3 hours without dropping an F-bomb because I've almost done it.
And we're running to the hallway.
Yeah, just have my back, man. That's all I can say. But look, I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm not trying to blow sunshine up, or anything. There are some positives with this team, and mainly they're around the quarterback. But the problem is the play caller, the head coach, they're going to win. If they win, it's going to be in spite of him.
Yeah.
Like he's not helping at all. And we went into the season knowing this wasn't going to be a very good team, but the head coach can't be a part of the problem. And the head coach is a part of the problem.
He's a big part of the problem. He's a big part of the problem. They're going to win. You're right. They're going to win in spite of him. It's just not good. It's okay. You're not good. We figured it out. You're not good.
But the problem is if you fire him now, what does it really do? Because like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you keep him, it's like, well, he's not really doing what you need him to do, and he's losing games for you. If you fire him, you're going to go into a lame duck interim situation, which what's that really going to do?
Hey, they did it. Look, he's 3-16. Wisenhunt was fired at 3-20. What? Wisenhunt was 3-20 when they fired him. Okay, Malarkey came in. Malarkey kind of turned.
So is Mike McCoy that guy? Is Mike McCoy Mike Malarkey?
Could be.
Because that's who it would be. Because if you fire Brian Callahan, you're firing Bill Callahan, you're firing Nick Holtz, you're definitely firing those three. So does Mike McCoy take over as the interim
What about
coach?
Mo Hardigree? Let him do it. He spends a lot of time with Cam.
He's the OC.
He's the quarterback coach currently. He becomes the OC.
Yeah.
It ain't working
Mike
now.
McCoy becomes the head coach who has head coaching experience.
Right. Yeah.
Do not keep Bones Fossil where he is. And keep Denard Walker where he is.
Yep.
Because I'll say this, not perfect. Defense might be a little bit better than we initially thought.
L'Jarius Seed sucks.
Get rid of him.
Get rid of him.
He had a good game yesterday. What are you talking about?
He got beaten by Adams twice badly. Look at his stats.
Okay.
Look at his stats.
I did look at his stats. I'll give you that.
And he had a penalty in the end zone. He's not good. You're paying him to be a number one corner, and he's not good.
He's not the shutdown corner.
He's not. You're paying him for that. Thanks a lot, Rand. He's not. Get rid of his ass. Get rid of him. I know you can't because you pay him a lot of money, but too many excuses for this team.
He had 3 tackles yesterday. That's what he had.
I don't get it a cornerback. I'm not hiring you for your tackles. I'm hiring you to shut down the other receiver. Yeah. And Stafford went to Devontae Adams over and over and over again.
Yeah, Adams had a good day.
Yeah, there is some talent over there. But you got to score points. You scored 1 touchdown in 8 quarters off a fluke play. That's what you scored. And we knew it going into the season. These guys didn't play in the preseason together. There's a lot of things we point at. We're not going to say we were right. We want this team to be successful, and they're not. And I don't think they're going to be for the foreseeable future. And that's frustrating.
We will have Brian Callahan's Monday press conference coming up at the bottom of the hour. Looking forward to hearing what he has to say. Also, John McClain joins us today at 2:00. It is a Reaction Monday, and we want your Titans reaction. Yes, we will get into some college stuff later on in the show, but right now, all Titans, 615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Our question of the day is pretty simple, right?
Yeah, goes back to Brian Callahan. You buying this guy? You selling this guy? Do you still believe in him? You want to give him some hope for a little bit? Are you ready to move on? We love your opinions. 615-737-1025. Brian Callahan, you still buying it? Are you ready to sell?
Presented by Aries Tactical, your safety, your skill, your Aries Tactical. Check them out at ariestactical.com. Chasing Big Joe, 1025 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Monday. Little Doobie Brothers. So they're at, where are they tonight?
First Bank.
First Bank, okay.
Good show. The Coral Reefer Band's opening up for them. So a lot of Jimmy Buffett there tonight. They're starting tailgating at 2 today. They're opening the parking lot at 2.
Well, you tell Mac McAnally we said what's up.
I will tell Mac tonight. He's a big fan of the show and said, Chase says hi. And he said, I appreciate you boys every time. And then that's how Mac sounds.
I think they should invite you up to do come Monday.
I think I'm coming up to do grapefruit.
Oh, grapefruit, juicy fruit?
Yep.
That's a good one.
I think so.
If I could pick one song, like Buffett song, that I'd want to, like if they're like, Chase, bring your guitar, come up and sing a song, it would be it's not a popular one, but it's one of my all-time favorites, A Peanut Butter Conspiracy.
Great song. Great, absolutely great song.
Who's going to steal the peanut butter?
Right.
I'll get the can of sardines.
That's a great song. So yeah, it'd be a fun time tonight.
I believe that song is a true story too.
I think you're correct on that.
And I think he did pay the mini mart back. So
Good.
Pretty neat. 615-737-1025. It is a reaction Monday. A lot of you have texted in 615-737-1025. 5353 said, if we would have turned the ball over trying to get 6 before the half, I would have felt better. So, like, to your point, to go for it, not settle for the point. There are times when, yes, it makes sense. Take the points. But when you're a team that is not very good and you're in position, you went into the half with the lead, but you're in a position where you could really change the course of the game. I agree with you. Go for it.
How do you get confidence, right? By succeeding.
Yeah.
And so how are you going to succeed? By doing. So I'm all about going for it. I mean, you got to make Cam uncomfortable before he becomes comfortable. And that's all part of it.
Brian says, not only is it 3, is this Brian Callahan texting about himself? Not only is he 3-16, it's also unwatchable football.
You're wrong.
David in Paris. Joe, I'm cool with you saying I don't know, but not the head coach. This guy is soft and not ready to be a head coach. Look, he's not a head coach.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
He's not head coach material.
Yeah.
He's not.
He's never, and
that's okay. There are a lot of good assistant coaches in football.
Here's the problem. Here is what has been exposed. I'm not even sure he's a good coordinator. Like, he's not.
Yeah.
He had the title of offensive coordinator, but he didn't call plays. He's not a good play caller.
He's not. You're right. No, you're right.
Keith, through 2 games, the Titans have 0 touchdowns on plays that Callahan drew up. The only touchdown was thanks to the playmaking of Cam.
Exactly right.
Sure. I mean, look, he pulled something out of thin air.
Big time he did.
When he did that, like, I was like, holy, you know what? Like, how did he pull that off? Because he did everything like you should not do.
Yeah. Right.
But it was a tremendous throw, acrobatic throw, and probably an even better catch by Amir.
Their only touchdown in 8 quarters.
And I love how everybody was like, well, who gets the ball, since it's both their first touchdown. I do believe, y'all were laughing at me, but I do believe what they do is they deflate it and they unstitch it and cut it in half. And then because when they do that, like if it's a monumental something, they'll put like the white where they can write on it or have the lettering to commemorate what that ball is. I think they will do that and basically make 2 footballs out of 1 and give it to both of them.
Really?
Yeah. Because I know this because Floyd in his house had he has the Music City Miracle Ball. He had a bunch of footballs that, they had deflated and put the white part where they could stitch on like what it meant. And there were a few. So I think they can do that.
I see, you do this to me. You get me fascinated about something I had no idea about. I know I'm consumed with this.
Yeah.
So they deflate the football, they unstitch it, and they make 2 footballs out of the 1, and they add the white to it so you could sign it. Interesting. Correct. That is 100% fascinating to me. Okay. I always wonder where the white. Okay, now I know.
Yep. 71 or DK Mount Juliet says last quarterback to throw for 300 yards was Levis in December 31st, 2023. Do really think any opponents respect the Titans passing game? No, but I think they'll learn to respect Cam Ward because he's starting to show you he's got something.
Yep.
If he's with a capable coach that can be developed, because look, there's still like a couple of the sacks yesterday were still on him.
Right.
And there's things that like he's trying too much to make a play where he's just got to get rid of it, whether it's rolling out and throwing it out of bounds or the check down guy or sometimes the play's not there.
Again, think if he was being coached by Sean Payton on that Broncos offense.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be a success. He would be a success. But now he's stuck on this really bad football team with a bad play caller and a bad head coach. He'll fight through it. I'm telling you, I am sold on Cam Ward 100%.
Michael Madison says, we've got just as many wins as last year's Super Bowl runner-up. I'd say that's pretty good. Hashtag sarcasm. That was good. Let's real quick before we get to Brian Callahan. Shoal wants to weigh in. Hope I said that right. Welcome in.
Oh, me?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I think, you guys charge everything. It was horrible yesterday. I don't think we're going to win a lot of games if we don't throw the ball. If we in a field goal range, take 2 to the end zone to see if something happens. If you limited him, he's not going to develop. It's a near. If we lose, let's lose. Why is he afraid for turning the ball over? Let us turn the ball over as we want to see if we can get something beautiful come out of it.
Love it.
We're not going to do that. We just want to take the point. And it's not enough. We're not scoring enough. We still got the same 12 points from a field goal and 1 touchdown in 2 games. You're not getting it. Other teams are killing us.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
He's right.
Yeah, very good.
Good point, Skull.
Very good. We'll get back to your calls, your texts coming up in just a few minutes. But next, Brian Callahan addresses the media. You'll hear that live here on Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership with a buzz. It is always about great service. Brian Callahan will be addressing the media here in just a moment, as we will see what he has to say that's maybe different from yesterday. So we'll take you over to St. Thomas Ascension Sports Park once he gets up to the podium. A couple of texts still to get to. Let's see, 2518. You thought they were going to win at the half? I thought they had a chance. All these players have to do is leave the Giants and they all become pros. LOL. That's a good one. Dylan says, hell, put Fossil as head coach. That dude shows some emotion and turns stuff around. I know, but I want him to be they finally have a special teams coach that's worth a damn. Leave him alone. Put Mike McCoy. It's fine. 2298 says the pregame show needs to stop Sunshine pumping with their game predictions. Big Joe kept it real, thankfully. So I guess Derek and Chris both took the Titans. Is that what I understand?
I guess so, yeah.
Interesting. Eli says, if you fire the head coach, you get an interim coach bump, and Bill Callahan has done nothing for this O-line, so good riddance. Cameron says, there's no reason to fire Callahan midseason. Then Cam will have 3 coaches in like 15 months. You get nothing from that. You might win one more game because the firing lights a fire, but that is completely meaningless. You choose to keep him preseason, so you ride it out and get a high draft pick out of it. I tend to lean more of that. I mean, like, I feel like Cam is good enough that anything, like, it's not going to hurt him at this point. I think what would hurt him is having 3 different offenses in basically 15 months. That to me would not be good.
Yeah, and like I told you Friday, if you see him making a lot of checks at the line, I think that's where you're seeing your progression.
Yep.
The coaching stuff, that's beyond fixable at this point.
Yep. I would agree with that. 0247, 3 words that stuck out to me in the post-game interview stuck out to me too. I don't know, coming from the head coach. He did say I don't know a lot. Joe, let's sell Callahan at the end of the season. That way we have the first overall pick in the draft. We trade out of that first overall pick for multiple picks. I will say, and it's way too early to talk about that, but if they got the first pick in back-to-back, I think you 100% trade down. Get a receiver. Go get your stud receiver to be, with Io Manor and be the receiver of the future. But, like, trade down and get a bounty of picks, which I think would be awesome. I think that would be exactly what they need to do. Again, we're waiting on Brian Callahan to address the media. He has not walked up to the podium as of yet. So, once again, he's late. But it is what it is.
Having his tea with Amy.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh,
probably.
it's today tea day?
It's lunchtime.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wonder what they talk
What would you
about.
do if, like, it pops up and Amy walks up there? I mean, that
Oh my gosh.
like, we would go nuts. Like, I'm here today to thank Brian for his time with us. But
She have
he
to
is
call
no longer our head coach.
she have to call Mike Keith back for that announcement.
Mike is here. Man, he doesn't work here anymore. Well, Mike is here.
Might be
They are
something.
putting Mike in the Ring of Honor on Sunday.
Are they?
Are the Vols off this weekend?
They play UAB.
Oh, okay. So he's coming in Sunday, and they're going to put Mike Keith in the Ring of Honor.
Let's hope Heupel drops 100 on that bonehead Dilfer.
I think there's a good chance of that after
I'd love it.
Saturday.
I'd love it. No, that would be something if she walks out. I think she walks out in about 6 weeks after Vrabel lays a whooping on him.
Right now, I don't think he makes it to Vrabel. Now, look, I'm kind of in the boat where you're not going to fix anything long term by firing him now. If you do, it's whatever. But as a texter pointed out, and I've said this too, what worries me is putting Cam with 3 different offensive coordinators essentially in the course of 15 months is what would happen.
Okay.
You saw that with Caleb Williams. Not the end of the world.
Right. Right.
If that happens,
Right, I agree.
it happens all the time. I'm just saying that And again, I know I don't like living in the world of sucking, but like if you realize 6 weeks from now he ain't the guy and you're not going to be good and nothing's going to get better, then I'm in give me the high pick mode, trade, get a bunch of picks and rebuild this roster, because there is one person in that building that I actually do trust right now, and his name is Mike Borgonzi.
Cam has had 4 coordinators in 5 years. I think
that's a fair point.
I think the message is still simple. You're a quarterback, throw the ball, make plays. We're going to build this around you. Not saying it's not built around him now, but sometimes a change is needed. And look, they're 0-2. They're not getting any better. I don't see them getting any better. The schedule now is daunting. Culture 2-0. Texans are mad at one. Texans play tonight. They might be 0-2. They might be desperately rolling them in 2 weeks. Then you got to Arizona. I think Arizona is playing, the most hapless franchise is playing well. Then you got to go to Las Vegas. Then you come back and Vrabel comes to town. I mean, it's not getting any easier, and I don't see any improvement except from the quarterback, who is doing his best to make things happen right now against some really bad play calling that's going on. The fact he went conservative before the half drives me insane.
Before the half, I mean, he just went conservative throughout, I thought.
Well, when you get the ball down there, you can make things happen and take shots and do what you can do something. And it's not happening right now. And it's so but we saw this coming. Back in the summertime.
We did.
Call him over there and get his ass to the podium. To somebody, can we do this? Dr. Crane, you know people in this town.
Yeah, I don't know if I can make those arrangements right now.
Well, like his offense, try it.
I think I know the answer to this, but I'm just going to ask it just for giggles. Who gets fired first, Chad Brinker or Brian Callahan?
Oh, Callahan.
That's what I think too. But I don't know. Like, if this thing completely goes off the rails, I'm not 100% sold that Brinker doesn't get it too, because that's what Amy does. That, you know, it's kind of like, all right, I'm going to connect all the dots to how this has been a failure, and then you're out.
Aren't we off the rails already?
But with that said, then you truly reset, and Borgonzi is the guy that's going to hire your next head coach. Then you're back where you need to be. Give him the president of football operations, whatever makes you feel good. You know, let it be known that unless you're going and getting, you know, all of a sudden Andy Reid decides, hey, I'm done with Mahomes, I want to come hang out with you. Like, then okay, then that's different. But I think at that point, then you can reset and Borgonzi be the guy, the football guy.
Okay.
Burke on the business side, and then Borgonzi on the football
something's
side.
going to have to happen. I mean, it's just, you can't keep doing
Well,
this.
right now, the damn head coach needs to be on time and come to the podium.
10 minutes late. He's like, this will mess Chase and Joe up if I come on
He's
late.
going, I'm finishing my spinach.
During a break right here. But I wonder if they have this little talk Amy Adams and Callahan do. What are they talking about? What could they possibly be talking about?
So, how was your weekend?
Yep. Gary, you found your way around yet? Around Nashville?
Yeah.
Good.
Brian, you gonna eat that quiche?
Quiche.
Remember the day we did
what'd you do Saturday? Well, I went to Target and, you know, got some stuff. And
remember the day we asked the question, and it was because Amy flew to Miami to meet Cam. It was like, what could they have possibly talked about? And what's the first thing Amy asked Cam? And y'all's responses in the text line were unbelievable that day.
My favorite was, are you the new PR guy? Are you the new Robbie?
Are you the new Robbie? Oh my gosh.
That one.
There were a few others that I'm not going to repeat. Were just hilarious.
No. 2498. The fact that he's always late speaks volumes and explains the state of the team. No structure.
I will not argue with that at all. You're onto something there.
Both, because Dustin in Hopkinsville says Borgonzi is a dog. No reason to keep Brinker. Take all the trash out at once. Wes in Clarksville. If they do fire Callie, do you really think they they can get the next coach pick right. If they let Mike Borgonzi do it and stay out of his way and don't have this damn committee and all like working together, and then yes, I do. Because I think he knows what he's doing.
Yep.
And people I've talked to indicate that he knows what he's doing.
I'm with you on that. Now he is 13 minutes late.
I would also, and I agree with Dustin too, I would try and find an experienced coach. I don't know if I'd go first time again.
Okay.
But it's got to be the right. I mean, like Gruden, if they hired Gruden, I would like that hire.
Oh, we'd love that hire.
Now, I would want him, like, I'd be open to keeping Denard Walker as the defensive coordinator.
Was it Denard Wilson?
Denard Wilson. What did I say? Denard. I knew I was going to do that.
I've only done it 100 times. So.
Yeah.
Tez Walker scored 2 touchdowns for the Ravens yesterday.
But wasn't there a Denard Walker that played for the Titans?
Yeah, number 25.
Yeah, played with Derek.
Out of LSU. That's right.
Because he's done that too. And like I do it all the time. Denard Wilson. I'd keep him. I'd keep Fossil. And then you bring in another. And like if they hired Mike McCarthy, which is a possibility, then Fossil was his special teams coordinator. So you keep that, that's fine.
They're all connected, man.
But you would need an OC that can develop Cam.
I love this holding pattern. We're just
we're in a 4-corner stall.
Now hold on a second on the car phone there. Get your butt in there and do the press conference.
Yeah.
So
because I can guarantee you, as soon as I say we're going to go to break,
he walks up. Yep. So good weekend? Did you have a good weekend?
It was good. It was good. Just chill, watch football. Went to the game yesterday.
MTSU had a big win. That was fun to watch.
There's no way you saw that coming. Watching most of that game.
They're 6 minutes left to go in the game. They're down 13-0. And they're getting momentum, but there's not doing anything. I tell you, football, 4 quarters, baby. And it was the quickest comeback with the less amount of time that's ever happened in Conference USA. And they won the game 14-13. Nick Vattiato's a beast. I mean, that last play, 4th down, game on the line, he goes in from 7 yards and just blows past people to get in the end zone. That team, that's what you need, man. You need guys like that. So good. Congrats. We'll talk to Derek Mason on Wednesday. Yep.
All right, let me read this text because when are you guys going to quit blaming player mistakes and just downright bad player mistakes on people that can't fix the problem? Okay, he's up. All right, let's go to him now.
Yesterday from the game, again, just a opportunity to go toe to toe for 3 quarters and got to find a way to finish the game better in all 3 phases. I think at the end of the day, to put ourselves in position to win, but a lot of good things to coach off of, to work off of. Got a really good Indianapolis team coming in here, a divisional game at home. So got to get our attention focused on them real quick and get the things fixed. We got to get fixed this week and keep pushing forward. So I'll let you guys go ahead.
Brian, at some point, pressure building to break through and get a win. I know that this is a new season, but there's a skid now that's going back to last season. And with this being the second home game, then you go on the road for 3 days or 3 games. Excuse me. How much does that mean? Just get a win right now.
Yeah, our urgency is high to get a win. That hasn't changed. It's been a high for 2 weeks now. I mean, it's not for lack of urgency or lack of intent. Certainly would love to get a win so that our players can feel that feeling and we can get ourselves on the right track. Those are things that we're all working hard towards. I don't, it's just one of those things that when you've lost the amount of games that we have over the time that we've done it, you're searching for that feeling and searching for that performance that allows you to go win a game. And thus far through 2 games, a lot of good things, but ultimately not enough to win them. And we got to find a way to go win a game at the end of the day. And that's always going to be our goal. And our urgency is incredibly high to go do that.
When you watch Cam back again today, what would you like? Maybe what are some things he still needs to keep improving at?
Yeah, he sees the field really, really well. That part has been really encouraging. I think we had 1 or 2 missed opportunities that you can't miss in a game like that. That we had a chance to generate something explosive potentially. I thought that he was better with his footwork and with his progressions this week than he was the week before. I think he gets better every time he walks on the field, and that's really good to see. The biggest thing for him is the ball security portion. It's just trying to keep two hands on the ball, moving through the pocket. That's a thing that all young quarterbacks got to get used to. There's arms and bodies and people all raking at that ball at a really high rate, and we got to do a better job securing it in the pocket. But there was a lot of really great things from Cam. Some of the throws, the location, some of those balls to Alec down the sideline. There was some really, really good stuff from the game that I'm incredibly encouraged by. And again, you stack another week of practice and another game, and you like to see it continue to get better. And I think we will.
If you're seeing the field that well, what's the disconnect with the completion percentage, which is not?
Well, I think first and foremost, we've had some drops. I think we can all agree with that. That affects it a pretty good amount. And then we've had a couple of potential, aggressive plays that he saw well and put the ball in the air, and then we got to go make those plays. And then he's it's not perfection. I mean, he's missed some throws too that we like to have. So, but I think in totality, where he's at and what he's done is something that I'm very encouraged by. I'm excited by, and I think for a young player in his first two starts against two really good defenses, I think there's some really good stuff to take away.
Seemed like at least a few times he passed on Lockett, who was pretty open, shorter, to go more aggressively for something more complicated, more difficult, deeper. What's the counsel there after the fact?
Just awareness of the play and of the coverage structure, just understanding that he's a bit of a hunter. He likes to go looking for big plays, and I think that's pretty normal for some of these guys coming out of college these days. That's how they play at that level. And it's different because the rushes are different and the caliber of coverage player is different. But at this level, you have to be a little bit more strategic in when and where and how. And those are things that he's learning. There's answers baked into a lot of plays for the quicker throw, for a man coverage beater. It doesn't necessarily always have to be down the field. And those are things that Cam is learning every time he goes out there. But those some opportunities that are good teachable moments for him when it comes to understanding the structure of the play and where his answers are versus particular coverages.
About last year, you guys have been outscored.
I'll come back, Terry.
Well, it was on the same subject.
Go ahead, Terry.
When you talk about the yards per attempt, it's pretty low. You attribute that.
What's the
more,
yards per attempt? Just like I don't know what it is.
4.7, I think. Do you attribute that more to the incompletions, or do you attribute that more to taking the shorter routes or things like that? What do you think factors into that?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know enough about that number to really dive into it, but I think we've had plenty of opportunities to go down the field. He's taken a few of them. He's done a good job of managing some shorter throws. That's all a part of it. You still have to be able to, when you get playing with a backup tackle, and you're trying to manage that process as well. So there's some things that go hand in hand. There's probably some run solution throws that we've kicked out that haven't gotten, they're behind the line of scrimmage type throws that don't get a ton of yards. So I'm sure there's a combination of a bunch of different things. I wouldn't necessarily attribute it to anything that he's doing or not doing at the moment through two games.
Dating back to last year, you guys have been outscored in the fourth quarter, 80, 90 points. I know yesterday you said you're going to take a hard look at the adjustments and all of that. And if you found anything, feel free to share. But you've been in the league a long time, just generally speaking, when teams have a problem finishing, what's the common thread there?
That's a layered question. There's a lot you can probably go, a lot of directions you can take that. I do think we've been in both the games, with time late in the third, early in the fourth, like every good game in the NFL is. They're all within a score as you approach the fourth quarter, most of them, and there's a lot of things that go into it. It's hard to necessarily pin it all down on one particular thing, but we haven't played well enough in the fourth quarter, and have to find a way to continue to play a little bit better, a little bit longer than we have at the moment. And that comes in, there's coaching involved in that. There's execution involved in that. Those things all have to find a way to improve, and haven't done it yet. And we have to find a way to do it.
Do you think the idea of in-game adjustments or the criticism of you guys' inability to do that is fair or overblown?
I mean, I think I've kind of jumped down this road before with what that looks like. I mean, those adjustments are ongoing. It's constant. Very rarely. I mean, halftime feels like it's about 5 minutes long by the time you get in there and make any adjustments that you haven't made yet. Really, we're adjusting in between every series. We're going through the looks that we got the series before, what the next calls are that are coming up, where we want to head, what direction, how they're playing us, how do we counteract it. Those things are sort of ongoing conversations. I've always been a huge believer in this halftime thing. It's very much overblown in terms of what you can accomplish in that short amount of time that you don't already accomplish in the conversations in between series. I mean, that's really where the adjustments happen, is in between series. They're a lot more immediate than waiting for halftime to make an adjustment, I think. So anytime you don't perform in those moments, though, you're open for criticism, and I understand that. So, but I would say that it's not necessarily a halftime adjustment thing. That's constantly happening throughout the course of the game.
With Ward and the game-to-game improvements that you touched on, like, what would you say is the next step of improvement for him, and how much will that tie into things opening it up a little bit more for him as far as attempts and things like that?
I think some of the commitment to trying to run the ball is the defenses we were playing. That's part of it. That's how do you keep the defense from teeing off? Well, you try to stay in manageable spots, and we've put ourselves in some tough third downs, I think, over the course of these two games, on a first down sack or a penalty or things of that nature. But really, how do you play teams that can rush the passer? Is you got to be able to run the football, and you got to put yourself in more manageable spots on third down in particular. The old stay on schedule adage. I think the Rams were a really good example of that yesterday. I mean, they put themselves in, I think, 3rd and 5 or less quite a bit during that game. It doesn't allow you to get your pressure packages up. It's harder to rush the quarterback. The ball comes out faster. All of those things factor in when you're trying to maintain some rhythm and some balance. And for the first 2 weeks, we've tried to do that. And to say Cam's going to go out there and we're going to throw the ball 45 times a game at the moment, I don't know that that's accurate or smart to do in that case. Certainly, if it was necessity and we had to, then so be it. But I just think you still want to have some semblance of balance. You want to run the football well, which I thought we did run the football well yesterday. I thought Tony Pollard had a really nice game. And that's how you help your line too, is you keep it balanced and you work your actions off of it. I thought we got a ton of production out of our movement game yesterday. Some of the play action and keepers that were off of that stuff that we put on tape. So it's still an evolving process, and he's getting better and doing things from a footwork perspective and a timing perspective. Every time he's been out, he's gotten better at it. I think that'll continue.
11 sacks in the first 2 games. How much of a concern is the pass pro right now?
Yeah, I know. Again, we've been down this road, I think, before, and I don't mean to be dismissive of your question, but I think that, as I've said a million times, that sacks are an offensive problem. They're not an offensive line problem. Felt like a handful of our sacks were avoidable. One of the sacks is Cam running out of the pocket and taking a 2-yard loss, outside the pocket, which isn't an offensive line thing. I think a lot gets made of sacks being an offensive line stat. And while I'm not dismissing the fact that we got to play better up front. That's certainly not the case. But the sack thing is an entire equal parts problem. We've had 2 or 3 pressures and sacks come off of some running back protection things. It's not just them. And so, yeah, the number in and of itself is concerning. Don't like that number. Don't want to have that. That's not going to help us win any football games. But I do think there's an extra onus that gets put on our offensive line based on what's happened here before and how it's looked, that the sacks are all on them. There's 11 sacks, and oh my God, that looks terrible. I think it's a little more nuanced than that, and I think there's more things that can be done to help from quarterback perspective, from receiver perspective, from running back perspective. So it's an everybody issue that we don't just pin the blame on them. We got to be better everywhere on offense, I think, for that number to improve.
Would you like to see Cam maybe run a little bit more, when he has a chance to either take a check down or take off, because it might add an extra element to the game?
Yeah, I think Cam's a really good pocket mover. I think he's got great feel. I think he's learning more and more about how these NFL pockets feel, and the duress that you get put under. And he's made some really good plays with his feet. That touchdown throw was an example of it. The difference between him and some other quarterbacks is that when he escapes the pocket, he's looking for plays in the passing game. And that's what's going to end up making a lot of plays over time. is his eyes are always downfield, and there's some spots where he could run and maybe pick up a couple more yards, and I think he will as the year goes on. He'll understand where the 4 or 5 yards might actually help us more than a deep attempt that goes incomplete. But that's just things that he's learning and working through as we go. And I love his mentality when he does get out of the pocket, because that's where the big plays in this league happen, is when you break contain and your eyes are downfield and you're looking for potential explosive plays.
To that point, I don't know how many quarterbacks in the history of the league could make the play he made yesterday. Some people describe it as a no-yes throw.
Yeah.
How do you coach? I mean, does he have the green light to do anything like that ever?
Yeah, it's certainly a fine line. But those are the plays that make him special. That's what makes him unique. That's what made him a number 1 overall pick is the ability to make those types of plays. Really, it was smart on his part. It's 3rd and 9 from the 9. That's like a major green light to extend the play, because even if you take a 6-7 yard sack, the field goal is in your pocket. You know what I mean? It's a situational awareness thing, and that's where the good quarterbacks in this league buy time. If they know it's 3rd down, they're inside the 10-yard line. It's like it's street ball, baby. Like that's when it happens. And that was an unbelievable throw and catch. And really the reaction by Ellick was the one that was the most impressive part of the play, other than the throw. But yeah, that's like the old Mike Holmgren, Brett Favre clip where, they got the old clip on him where he's, no. Okay. That's good. That's a good play. Like that's what it feels like sometimes. And you don't want to take that away from him, because those are the plays that he's capable of making.
When you made your way through the offseason analysis on the sins and all that stuff, what was the conclusion you communicated to the players about penalties? Is it as simple as penalties bad, or is there more nuance? How did you kind of explain what you were trying to get across to them about what needed to change with penalties?
The end result is the controlling the controllable ones. You're going to get called for holding. Defensive players are going to get called for defensive pass interference. That's just the way some of it's subjective. It depends on the crew, all that stuff. Those are the ones you don't necessarily have control of, but the ones that you do, the pre-snap and post-snap, alignment, those types of things, you can, we jumped offsides 3 times yesterday, and those are 5-yard penalties. And on a 1st and 10, now it's 1st and 15, and now it's 2nd and 10, and now it's 3rd and 8. Those are the rhythms you're trying to break. And ultimately, are penalties predictive of wins and losses? Are they predictive for playoff teams? It's a little bit looser in the penalty thing than it is per se like the turnovers, right? Turnovers are incredibly predictive. That's good teams turn the ball over, they make the playoffs. If you don't take care of it, you don't win games. Like that's tried and true NFL formula for every team in the league. The penalty part is a little bit more variant. There's not as many concrete things that you say less penalties equals more wins. That's not necessarily the case, but there is a brand of football that you try to play where you're not beating yourself. And that's happened for us a few times as we're trying not to put ourselves in position to lose games. We're trying to win them. And so you have to start there by taking care of the things that don't get you beat. And I think ultimately that's where the emphasis started and what we landed on is that's how you have to improve your football team, is taking care of the things you can control. Because there's a lot of things you can't, but the things that we can, we got to do a better job of controlling.
Why aren't the screens working, and what do you need to add on top of the screens to the short game?
Yeah, I think probably based on what I assume, some of the things that get labeled as screens are what we call run solutions. Those are some of the bubbles and the things in the perimeter that you have to have when you're running the ball, like in 11 personnel. You have to have some things to manage pressure and extra players and stuff like that. They've become a lot harder now than they used to be because of the offensive pass interference rules. And what ends up happening with some of those bubbles is the receivers can't go contact. They can't go get on the DB first. And it's really sort of changed how the production of those things, they have to wait to go put hands on, and then those DBs go running right through their face and they're on their heels. They're plays that I think we got to do a little bit better job of in terms of when and where we throw them and when and where we ask those guys to do that, because they're harder now than maybe they've ever been to execute with an offensive advantage because of that OPI contact rule. But a lot of those things, when you're talking about screens, I think that's what gets brought up is those plays. Our actual screen game has been okay. It hasn't been great, but those are also great tools to help your line and help your ability to slow down the pass rush. And so we like to get some more improvement from those things. And again, for the average person, a bubble and a run solution looks very similar to a screen. And I understand that, but I think we can get more out of that screen game, certainly from an execution standpoint.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go. That is head coach Brian Callahan, his Monday press conference. We will react to some of that. Also, Adam Schefter is on the TV right now. Joe Burrow will need toe surgery and be out for 3 months, according to Adam Schefter. So we'll have all that coming up in hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Monday, as it is a reaction Monday. And you just heard from Brian Callahan, Titans head coach, and what he had to say. And one text on our text line, driven by Wilson County Hyundai.com 0862. Sounds like Charlie Brown's mom. Blah, 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 blah.
Right? Here's a great text on a tweet we got. This guy says I've been out now on this team now. It's not going to answer, not the deal. The league was in a frenzy to hire young coaches in hopes to land the next McVay or LaFleur. It's not going to happen. You have a football genius sitting at Barstool, Mr. John Gruden. But go back to that. The league was in a frenzy to hire young coaches in hopes to land the next McVay or LaFleur. That might be the truest thing I've ever seen on social media.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what happens. Like when everybody, it's a copycat league. I go back to the mid-2000s. The Miami Dolphins started running this formation called the Wildcat with Ronnie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you're seeing colleges, you're seeing and look, it had been done before. Like there had been direct snaps to the running back before. But you saw everybody wanting to do it. Now there's this thing called the tush push which it's going to get banned, by the way.
I'm 100% in favor of banning it now after I saw that yesterday.
Because the guards are jumping.
And
not getting caught.
Everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to ban it.
It's done. And you shouldn't be allowed to push anybody. You can't do that. You should not be allowed to do that.
But I mean, it's a copycat league. So, of course, yeah, everybody's looking for the next. I mean, you go back to Shanahan. Everybody was looking for the next, like Mike Shanahan. Like, Mike Shanahan was an offensive genius, who came from that the Titans got. Mike Heimerdinger. Like, he was on.
Oh,
he was a part of that.
Yeah.
I mean, he came here, and you saw how much the offense changed when he took over as the offensive coordinator. So that's nothing new. The problem is, and I think the frustration is with Titans fans is like, well, are we ever going to be able to get it right? Because I don't think it was the wrong concept to hire him, but it just turned out he's not the right guy.
Yeah, you get me. You're trying to pull my strings. He had never called a play.
But Joe, and I know what you're going to say, and you're going to get all, bent out of shape, and I get it, but that's the problem. None of these guys call the plays. And then they become head coach and they call the plays. The other issue is it works for half of them and it doesn't work for the other.
Who'd McVay have when he landed in Los Angeles?
Jared Goff.
Went to a Super Bowl in 2 years, right? Who did Zach Taylor have? You know where I'm going with this.
I know they have the quarterbacks.
But you had the quarterbacks. But again, when McVay went into interview for
Who's
the Rams.
Kevin O'Connell had? Now, it didn't look very good last night, but he made Kirk Cousins look better. Sam Darnold has looked better. I think J.J. McCarthy eventually will be okay.
You're trying to find a McVay, but they said McVay went in for his interview with the Rams that it was like the savant that was breaking down plays and remembering plays and all. They're like, oh my gosh. I don't think that's Brian Callahan. I think you know when you know it. I think you got drunk off the fact like he's in Cincinnati. He must know what he's doing because they're really good and all that. It just doesn't work. It's not working here. And I get that. But you got to figure something out at some point. It ain't working now. And by the way, my friend Dale texted me and said, I'm the only one that's mad that Callahan decided to go for 3 yesterday at half. J.J. Watt was like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
A lot of people, what are you doing? When you settle for 3, no offense, Dale, I love you. That is a loser mentality. When you settle for 3, when you settle, let it hit you. When you settling for 3 has become so commonplace that it's okay. It's almost like losing has become acceptable. Losing should never become acceptable. We tell you all the time, Gretzky, Jordan, Tom Brady, they all hate losing more than do winning. That's what it's got to be. That's how you have to approach things. You have to absolutely despise losing and take chances on winning. You had 2 shots to go in the end zone. Throw interception. Who cares?
Yeah.
You're taking a shot to score a touchdown. Now, if you get down there, it's 4th down, you kick a field goal, that's fine. You're not being stupid. But at the same time, quit accepting this loser mentality.
But let me go back. I want to go back to something. What you were saying about the play calling. Here's where you can truly find the difference. 2012, Washington Redskins. The head coach is Mike Shanahan, right?
Yes.
Kyle Shanahan, his son, is the offensive coordinator. Who is the play caller?
Mhm.
Matt LaFleur is coaching quarterbacks. Sean McVay is coaching tight ends. Mike McDaniel is an offensive assistant. And on the other side of the ball, Raheem Morris is coaching defensive backs. But the thing about those offensive guys is they're all on the headset and they're listening to either Mike or Brian or Mike or Kyle call the plays. And I do think there's something to take away from that of how much they learned from especially a guy like Mike Shanahan.
We had a call last week that said, you're putting in a new toilet in your house, right? Do you hire a plumber or do you hire your neighbor who's never put in a toilet?
You hire the plumber.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, that's how break it down pretty simple right there. Okay, that's great. You're gobbling up the knowledge.
But my point is McVay never called plays until he got the Rams job. But he had years of working with Mike and Kyle Shanahan that he picked something up.
In this point, in this time, you did not need to go after an unproven play caller.
I agree.
Rams had nothing to lose. Other teams had nothing to lose. Titans had a lot to lose in this. And you went after guys never called. And look, yeah, he's been in the meetings. I get all that. He's sitting in there and everything. But to actually be in the moment, I just think the moment's too big for him. He might be a good play caller, Chase, if he's not a head coach. He might be. There's a lot going on in his mind as a head coach. Let him concentrate on just calling plays, not worrying about who's inactive, who's in, who's out, what's going on. As a head, I go back again. When Vrabel sat out the preseason game and that guy sat in, the defensive coordinator, I forget what his name is now. He's his DC in New England for him right now. But he coached the preseason game versus the Bears.
Oh, Terrell Williams.
Terrell Williams, yeah. They said, what about it? He's like, that's a lot. He goes,
yeah.
I got a challenge flag. When do I throw it? He said, hell, where is it? Is it in my left pocket, my right pocket? I mean, it's just simple things like that that is overwhelming as a head coach. Then you got to call plays on top of that. Then you got to go break down the play on the sideline of your quarterback. Meanwhile, what if there's a 4th and 1 out there or a penalty you need to be talked about? Then you're pulled away from your guy to go over there and you got to deal with what's going on in the field. Some guys aren't built for it, and it's okay. Maybe he'll be a good head coach not being a play caller. Maybe he's a good play caller, not a head coach. We don't know. I think there's too much on his plate right now, and that's going to get him gone, and that's the problem.
By the way, there was and I can't find it now, but there was a stat that during the Eagles-Chiefs game, Sirianni threw the challenge flag, and the ESPN stats or whatever clocked it at like 37 miles an hour. It had a 75% chance of being noticed. It went 29 air yards. It like just the angle there, like
right.
the arm angle on him throwing it.
Did you see McVay? I mean, McVay dropped the flag yesterday.
Yeah,
he just like put it like right at his feet.
Yeah.
I mean, he just kind of
see, like if it's me, I'm chugging. Like that time Vrabel looked at the ref like, really, you're gonna make me do this? I have to do this. Okay, here you go. Bam.
Would you not just launch it at a ref?
Oh yeah. I'd try and hit him right.
Try to hit the ref, right? Shot him in the butt, just fire it in there and get it done that way. But going back to the point, there's a lot as a head coach that you got to do, a lot that you have to do, and he's just not delegating it right. And again, it's okay if you're not built for it, okay? But let's move on. Quit subjecting us to this.
615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll get back to your calls and texts. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni, 1025 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game, here on this Reaction Monday, taking your calls and texts on the Titans and their loss yesterday. We'll get into more NFL with John McClain at the top of the next hour. But I think it's a majority of the fan base is pretty much out on Callahan. There's a few that are still, like Andy says, if you listen to Coach Callie, who I have the utmost respect for, he's a teacher like his dad. He loves working with and teaching Cam. He would be one of the best OCs out there. Sadly, I wish it was with us. I mean, what tells you he would be a good offensive coordinator?
This makes me laugh. Dale, thank you. It says, how awkward would it be if they fired Callahan and named his dad interim head coach?
I would take – well, hang on. Let's see. Right? So Mike McCoy went 27-37 as a head coach in the NFL, all with the Chargers. That's his only head coaching experience.
Okay.
Been around a long time. Bill Callahan, let's see, went – of course, there's a musician named Bill Callahan. That's not what I want. Bill Callahan was 18-25 in the regular season as an NFL head coach, 27-22 with Nebraska, 2-1 in the postseason in the NFL.
He got a team to the Super Bowl.
He did. He got.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
He got John Gruden's team to the Super Bowl.
Damn, say it. So did John Gruden get Tony Dungy's team to the Super Bowl?
Technically, kind of. Yeah.
Funny how that works, right?
I mean, the whole Tampa 2 thing, like that was Dungy. Did Dungy get fired, or did he
Tampa 2 is actually Monty Kiffin?
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Did he get fired, or did he just leave?
I think it was just time to say goodbye.
And went to Indy.
Because
he had Herm on that staff at one point in time, I think.
Yeah, I mean, a pretty good staff there, but sometimes the time is up to do that. And he went to Indy and landed with Peyton, and then they won a Super Bowl in 06. But I just, something's going to happen. All right, so you got a chance to win this week. You take on a very good Colts team, another massive game. Colts win, they're 3-0, you're 0-3. The stat of 0-3 teams that make the playoffs is less than, I think, 5%. So you're done. You're not going to the postseason. 0-2 is something like 18%, crazy, like you don't make it. So again, you got a chance to go out on Sunday and get it done. But do you have enough faith that Callahan can get it done against any team? This Indianapolis Colts team is playing for the memory of Jim Irsay. I'm telling you, they're playing really.
Well, this
good
Titans
football.
Team needs to play for Mike Keith on Sunday. Damn it!
Is Mike Keith gone?
No, but I mean he's going to the Ring of Honor. That's what I'm saying.
Is he the only one? Is this the Sunday?
Yeah.
Who else is going?
I think it's just him.
Really?
Because she, like the day he announced he was leaving, she said he's going in the Ring of Honor, which was the right move.
Why can't we put Keith Bullock in the Ring of Honor? This makes
Derek Mason
or Derek Mason. I get why Derek Mason, because they're a little butthurt.
Yeah, but now it's time they get over it.
Yeah, but Keith Bullock,
look, and I don't mind saying this because I've said this to him. There was a time where Derek needed to get over it, and I think he has, and now the Titans need to get over it.
But I think it's one of those. But Bullock went to the Giants.
He went and signed with the Ravens because he had more time left in his career, and he got cut because of a salary cap issue.
Exactly.
You can't tell him like, now listen, we'll honor you as long as you don't go here.
Yeah, right. Do all that.
You can go to these teams that we've
Well, Eddie
it doesn't work that way.
Eddie went to the Cowboys.
That was a trade too.
Yeah.
People forget that. People forget that they traded Eddie, and I think they actually traded Steve. Was what that was.
Okay. God, that's right. They did. I remember the Eddie part of it.
Yeah,
they did.
Eddie was a trade.
And then like Blaine Bishop went to the Eagles for a year.
They cut him. He went to the Eagles. Curse went to the Eagles.
Yeah. Bullock went to the Giants for 1 year.
Yep. After he tore his knee.
Don't hold it against him. I mean, what they had the success here.
By the way, Curse was the Titans legend of the game. Yesterday?
Yeah, right.
It's pretty cool. They showed some highlights, and I was like, God, he was so good.
Wrecking ball. I asked Chris and Derek yesterday if I said, do you all get to the Super Bowl in 99 without him? And of course they don't, but they're like, he was the final puzzle piece.
Yeah.
To a very good team. And I think for like Dr. Crane, I mean, those guys, you see them only on YouTube, But Javon Curse in 99 was, I don't know if we'll ever see that again. Couldn't stop him.
Do you remember that Ray Stevens did a remake of The Streak called The Freak?
I
You do, don't you?
I don't.
Really?
I don't.
But he did.
Dr. Crane's already working on finding that
No,
that
he did.
song now.
And then they would play the song Freak Out whenever he'd get a sack.
That was
Freak Out.
great. Yep. I did
See,
not
I
know
remember all that. Oh, yeah.
Ray
they did.
Stevens did that.
Yeah. Oh, yes, they call him the Freak, the fastest
no.
man on 2 feet or something like that. I don't remember. I mean, but it was. I remember it.
Oh, I do not remember that.
Do you remember the Titans' bad call brick?
Yes, I do remember that.
They handed those, and I still have it. It was a foam brick that you threw at the TV.
I do remember that. That's right. And who could forget Tennessee Oilers?
Big bad and blue, or red, white, and blue.
Tennessee
that
Oilers.
Gonna get all over you. Yeah, Ronnie Dunn. Andrew from Dover says Big Joe would pull a Paul Crew with the challenge flag on the ref.
You darn right I would. I'd walk to get it and have Eddie Albert try to shoot me.
4279, not Callahan's fault. You can't put lipstick on a hog and make it look good. Not sure even Mike Tomlin would have a winning season with this roster. Let's talk about that coming up next. I'm not disputing the roster's bad.
Fair point.
But, and we will discuss that coming up next. Thomas, hang on. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game.
Hey guys, Big Joe here. Listen, let's talk about anxiety and depression. 2 words that can just wreck your life if you let them. And face it, man, most of us lead lives of quiet desperation, but it does not have to be that way. That's why we're so honored to be partnering with Unity Psychiatric Care, based right here in Middle Tennessee, to get you back on track and living the life you deserve. Reaching out to someone and talking to someone saved my life, and I want the same for you. Listen, all you got to do is go to theGameNashville.com and click on the Chase and Big Joe Show. There, you will see a link for Unity Psychiatric Care and start taking back your life. It's okay to talk to somebody. Or you can call 1-888-508-8002. 1-888-508-8002. I tell you, help is just around the corner. And we'll tell you all the time how much we love you, and our world's a better place because you are here. Please know that. And you can take back your life. And please know you don't have to go through any of this alone. That's why we love Unity Psychiatric Care. Again, based right here in Middle Tennessee. All you have to do is go to GameNashville.com, click on the Chase and Big Joe Show, see the drop down and link to Unity Psychiatric Care, and start taking back your life and let the journey begin.
Dr. Crane has never heard this before. There you go. Little Ray Stevens. And there was the freak at some point.
That just made my day hearing that song.
Well, I'm glad.
Gosh.
I'm glad.
Don't
Glad you
look,
enjoyed that.
Ethel, but it was too late. I used that line when I was doing highlights on TV all the time.
I remember that.
Don't look, Ethel, but it was too late.
Okay, so here's the thing on the roster. Yes, the roster still needs work. You asked the question at the beginning of training camp and kind of got laughed at, but Borgonzi said, yeah, we're still working on this roster. It still needs to be improved. That said, there are some pieces there. Like Cam's a piece. I think this draft class is shaping up to go in the right direction. The head coach cannot be a part of the problems.
Correct.
And the problem is the head coach is a part of the play calling's not good. So you can't sit there and say it's not his fault and blame it solely on the roster, because to me that's not true. It's still a little bit of both. He can't help that the roster's bad and they still got to work on that. But
yes,
but he can't add to the problems either.
Was that somebody asked him about giving up sacks today?
And he said it's an offense problem, not just an offensive line problem.
No, he said it's been a problem before I got here.
Right.
Did he not say that?
Yeah.
Am I missing that? Yeah.
Yes, but he said it's an offense problem, not an offensive line problem, which I took as you're defending daddy. But that's what
I didn't even think about. I'm so stupid. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I don't know if we have that cut up yet.
It was
Dr.
towards
Crane's
the
working
very,
on it.
very, very end.
But he said it's it said O-line play or sacks are an offense problem, not just an offensive line problem.
He is, but what, blood's thicker than water, right?
Look, I guess he's not 100% wrong, but because yes, there are some. You look at the first two games that I put on Cam. You got it. This is it.
Yeah, I know. Again, we've been down this road, I think, before, and I don't mean to be dismissive of your question, but I think that, as I've said a million times, that sacks are an offensive problem. They're not an offensive line problem. Felt like a handful of our sacks were avoidable. One of the sacks is Cam running out of the pocket and taking a 2-yard loss, outside the pocket, which isn't an offensive line thing. I think a lot gets made of sacks being an offensive line stat. And while I'm not dismissing the fact that we got to play better up front. That's certainly not the case, but the sack thing is an entire equal parts problem. We've had 2 or 3 pressures and sacks come off of some running back protection things. It's not just them. And so, yeah, the number in and of itself is concerning. Don't like that number. Don't want to have that. That's not going to help us win any football games. But I do think there's an extra onus that gets put on our offensive line based on what's happened here before and how it's looked, that the sacks are all on them. There's 11 sacks and oh my God, that looks terrible. I think it's a little more nuanced than that. And I think there's more things that can be done to help from, quarterback perspective, from receiver perspective, from running back perspective. So it's an everybody issue that we don't just pin the blame on them. We got to be better everywhere on offense, I think, for that number to improve.
Good
Go
Lord.
ahead. You have the floor.
Just say sacks are unacceptable. Do better. Next question. That was, he spoke for a minute. I don't know what he said. I'm not taking your thesis class. I can't even say the word. Thesis class on answering a question. To say it's unacceptable. We got to do better. Our guys up front got to do better. And then you had all this other stuff, and they're like, what? Man, that's just something else right there.
You kind of sounded like
I can't get it out.
Edith Bunker there. What? Archie?
Thesis. Better. Elmer Fudd. I'm not sure.
Porky Pig.
The Porky Pig. That's what Elmer did Elmer Fudd
goodbye,
stutter?
folks.
Did Elmer Fudd stutter? Didn't he?
Yeah, I think they all did. I think my favorite
Same guy, right?
Was Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire when he does he's getting fired like at the beginning of the movie, and he says in the words of Porky Pig, piss off, Lou. I laugh so hard at that.
But no, that's a long-winded answer to say,
I'm
look,
defending dad.
Defending dad. This week on Defending Dad. Cam stepped out of bounds 2 yards back. That is a stupid stat.
0388 says he doesn't know what he said either, Joe.
Yeah, just psychobabble, man. Just keep going and talking till you convince yourself that you're saying something okay.
Adam in Portland is agreeing with you, so I want to read this. Joe is absolutely on the money here. It's situational football. Just because you screwed up so bad the week before, throwing from your own 7 doesn't give you the right to give up at the end of the half on this one. Weak-ass play calling and poor game management from a fraud head coach. Quote, what did you say about my dad? What a loser. Fire these two.
Situational awareness is always something in football you got to talk about. And the fact that you're on your own 7-yard line versus Denver, and then you want to go aggressive on your own 7-yard line. And this week you're at your 30 and you got 2 timeouts. You got 2 shots at the end zone. We're playing for a field goal. How'd that work for Josh Heupel on Saturday?
The kicker peed down his leg and missed it.
Missed the field goal. Wait, if you're playing for a field goal, stop it. You scored touchdowns. That's what you do.
I hate that more than anything. At the end of a half or end of a game where, like, even if like a field goal wins it or, you know, whatever, and it's like you're not taking, like, you're in position to take calculated shots at the end zone and you don't do it.
Do it.
Like, I can't stand that. Like, it's just, look, I get it. Protect the football. Don't do dumb stuff, all that. But, you know, this running it up the middle to center the ball and, you know, sliding down it, like if a player slides down, no, you take it to the end zone and then you go out there and you play defense and you stop them.
You know what I heard when I said go for it? All these people that texted in, and my personal text line is like, well, what if you throw an interception? What if you throw an interception? How about this? What if you throw a touchdown?
Right.
What if it works out better than you possibly imagined? Sometimes it does.
But
Stop
that's
being so negative.
right. We just live in a negative world.
That's
though.
it. What if you score a touchdown? You don't know till you try. And you got to try to do it. But settling for a damn field goal. Give me a break.
0900 says, it's early for this. I understand. No, it's not if you've been listening. But if the Titans are 1-8 going into the bye week, will they let him go? He's so bad, hard to digest. If they don't, it's going to be very uncomfortable for all of them. And I am not, for those of you that have listened to me for the last 6 years or whatever that I've been on full time, I am not fire the coach guy. I never have been. I am, look, if at the end of the year you evaluate and it's not working, then yes, you make a change. But I am not the quick, oh, you lose 2 games, fire him, he sucks, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
Like, I'm not, that's not how I operate. But number one, this is 19 games, not 2 games. And in the 19-game sample size that I have seen of Brian Callahan as head coach of the Tennessee Titans, it kind of goes back to, you know, when we got to mid last year and we go, I think we know what we have in Will Levis. There comes a point where you kind of know what you got.
Yep.
And what I think they have is they have a guy that is a nice guy, but he's not a head coach.
He's like a nice guy. Is it Zelensky?
Right. Yeah. Right.
From Tommy Boy, whatever it is.
Yeah. But he's just like, he's not head coach material.
And that's okay.
So while I am of the belief that, like, if you fired him today, I don't really know what that does, because you're still going to have members of his staff. You're not going to go hire John Gruden and put him in right now.
Right.
Yes, I understand you've had like the Colts did the Jeff Saturday thing. Okay, who's that for the Titans?
Yeah. Right.
Like,
yeah. Who knows who it is? Right.
Eddie's not leaving Bowling Green to come coach the Titans midseason.
Stupid to do that. Just,
you know, as much as we love Jeff Fisher, I don't think he's going to go do it.
No, he's not.
You know, so it's like, what do you do there? I mean, I'm not letting D-Mace off in the afternoons to go do it.
I wouldn't want it done. No, right? No way.
You pay me $10 million, we'll talk.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What you got now is you get an opportunity to go out on Sunday and beat the Colts, right? You got another opportunity to go out and say, all right, maybe we could turn this around. Maybe they can. Maybe they can get it. I don't know. We'll see. The beauty of this is we see Sunday together.
Yeah.
We got 6 days to break it all down and see on Sunday. I sent you a note last night in our group. The interaction yesterday on social media after the second half for a Titans game was almost nil.
Yeah.
And that's not good. Usually, if a Denver game, people are chatting, people are talking.
It's like they got shadow banned or something.
Shadow band's the worst, right? Just, yeah. All right, you threw me off. Threw me off. I had to stop at the red light.
Sorry.
I had to stop there. Yeah, it's like nobody's seeing me, man. What's going on? I got to come up with some crazy stuff. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I threw
sorry.
you off there.
I need to get something to drink.
Matt says, let's please not lump Josh Heupel with this buffoon. We will talk about Josh Heupel, and we'll talk about the Commodores because Clark Lee is going to join DVD at 4:45 this afternoon after a big weekend. We'll take a little college break, and then John McClain will join us at 2 o'clock. We'll do that next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Monday. We'll get back into the Titans in the NFL coming up here in just a few minutes with John McClain, but wanted to spend a little time to, as Jake Lyman put it this morning, to give Vanderbilt their flowers because they deserve it.
Yeah.
They went into a tough place. in South Carolina, and don't give me the Sellers got hurt. They were out playing South Carolina before Sellers got hurt. It's kind of like a few years ago when South Carolina beat Tennessee. Hendon Hooker wasn't playing well either, and before he got hurt. But Vandy goes into South Carolina, wins 31-7, and now they are the 20th ranked team in the country and have a great, great opportunity to take care of business the next couple of weeks, be 5-0 heading to Tuscaloosa.
Well, I think your rank 20 is too low. I mean, you beat a
I agree.
team.
I agree. They should be in the top 20, but
I think 15 right now is good. But now, look, Georgia State, you better watch out because there's some demons that Vanderbilt needs to excise or exercise. Is it excise?
Exercise.
What's excise? You can excise demons too, right? Dr. Crane, you're smart.
Yeah, you could say exercise because it's an exorcist. Yeah, I guess you could say exercise.
Well, we're not going that deep. I mean,
well, that's what it comes from.
I know, I get it. But I think it's excise, right? To shorten it down and make it like excise this demon, like singular.
It's like saying SeaWorld or see the world. SeaWorld.
It's like
drop a word.
It's like genuflecting.
Look, I think Vandy is going to just
there we go. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think they're going to lay the smack down on Georgia State.
After what happened last year,
I think they have. I think it's one of those that Clark Lee walks into the first team meeting and just goes, "Boys, I don't think I need to say anything," and just has the final score up on the.
That's all I put up there.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we are launching on the Chase and Big Joe show, produced by Dr. Crane, the Diego Pavia Heisman train. It starts today. We're on the bandwagon. Us three are on the Diego Pavia bandwagon. If you're 5-0,
I can't wait to see somebody try and take credit for it too.
If you're 5-0 and you roll into Tuscaloosa and you're feeling good, who says they don't have a shot? Vanderbilt wins, and like Vanderbilt has an opportunity. You got Alabama, LSU, and Texas, and then Auburn later on. You could shock the world, man. Why not? So right now we're on the Diego Pavia Heisman Trophy train right now. We want to see him in New York City. I mean, you can talk. Marcel Reed's up there.
Yep.
Played his butt off for Texas A&M. But Pavia, I mean, this is why he came back for all that's happening right now. And it's great, man. So we're on the Pavia train.
So right now, Carson Beck appears to be the favorite. John Mateer, second. Gunnar Stockton's moved up, which I don't know about that. Dante Moore from Oregon. Marcel Reed from Texas A&M. Julian Sayin, Ohio State. Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State. Joey Aguilar from Tennessee.
Come on.
Not ready to say that yet. Garrett Nussmeier from LSU.
Not bad.
Devin Dampier, the quarterback at Utah. And that's
So
they're not putting Pavia in it yet. I mean, he's still pretty far odds.
But I get that. Heisman Trophy's become a stats thing.
Yeah.
You know, best stat.
It's a quarterback award too.
But I always go back to you, and I know I'm older than you, and I'm a different generation. In 1980, Hugh Green for the Pittsburgh Panthers was the best player in the country. George Rogers won the Heisman Trophy that year. Hugh Green made everybody around him better. He made everybody around him better.
Mm-hmm.
Diego Pavia makes everybody around him better. He's not going to have the great stats, but he's the best player right now at that position.
He is plus 5,500 on FanDuel.
Take the money, buddy. Why not?
Yeah, I agree.
Throw 20 down. Who knows what could happen?
Yep. And then you got Beck, Mateer, Stockton are your top three.
Gunnar Stockton's already in the top three out for one game.
Yeah. Which he didn't. I mean, look, Georgia won the game. End of the day, that's all that matters. They won the game. I respect Kirby Smart for saying, and it was calculated how he said it in the post-game interview, hey, they, meaning Tennessee, deserved to win this ball game. We did not. And I was like, okay. But the thing is, championship pedigree, the experience, they won that game. The kicker makes that kick, Tennessee wins the game. But he couldn't handle the moment. And that's
right. Yeah.
Look, I'm not down on the kid. I'm not cutting him. That's where coaching comes in, and you pull him, you hug him, and you say, hey, you got to learn from this, and next time you go out and you make that kick. But Tennessee had their opportunities to put Georgia away. on a 4th down play, you don't let Stockton have the receiver wide open in the corner of the end zone.
It's a hell of a pass.
It was a hell of a pass. But I mean, you can't let that happen.
Hell
It's
of a
4th
catch.
down,
Right.
game on the line. You can end it right there. You let it, okay, they score. Stop them on the 2-point conversion.
Well, and then Heupel had 2 chances, right, to score. I was trying to watch the game out in Nevada, and I was going to go back and forth. But did he
I heard you were feeling pretty good out there.
Yeah, good time in Nevada out there. Highly recommend 12 out of 10. So did he not 2 plays before the field goal kind of run the ball and center the ball? You had 2 shots down the field.
Yep. I was screaming.
What are you doing?
I was screaming. I'm like, take calculated risks and try and either put it on the goal line or go for it.
And then what do people say? What happens if it's intercepted?
You throw to the boundary.
What happened though if he catches it? That's a touchdown. What happens if that goes on?
Because they still,
Goodness.
I think they still had the timeout or plus if you get a first
he had
down,
all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, right. And if you get first down, then the clock stops anyway under 2 minutes. So
Yeah.
I mean, like you got. I didn't understand that either.
This loss hurts. I mean, I'm not saying that anybody else doesn't know, but I feel sorry for UAB coming to town because there's some more. That's bad taste you got to get out, and
you know what? Sometimes teams that have a loss like that, it kind of wakes them up a little bit, and then they go and they do dangerous things. Like Alabama may be doing that. We might have seen a sleeping giant get woken up, and it's looking like Florida State might be pretty good.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Also, and Joe Rexer had a good point about this today is that years past that loss to Georgia, your season's over, right? It's not over, but you're not dealing with championship. Now you get the mulligan, which was perfect description from Joe talking about that. Now you got your mulligan, but you can't lose again.
Yeah.
Now you got to go and play and win games and all that. It's just a different world of college football that we're seeing right now. But
if I'll say this too, and a texter just said this, I'm still not convinced they're going to go down to Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama. I think it'll be a good game, but I'm still not ready to say that. If Texas keeps playing the way they're playing, though, they could go into Austin and beat Texas.
We told you about Arch. Remember the question we asked at SEC Media Days? It was all the thing. Cole Kublik, Greg McElroy, what's his love for Arch Manning? Like, yeah, he hadn't done anything. I'm like, yeah, he hadn't done it, and he still hasn't done anything. He looked very pedestrian versus UTEP. Very pedestrian.
Al says Joe would be one of those coaches who never punts the ball. He wouldn't even have a punter on the team.
Punters are not people. I would not have it. I'd quick kick with my quarterback.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Coming up next, we'll talk to John McClain, get back into the NFL and the Titans with him. It's Chasing Big Joe on this Reaction Monday. We are presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel on 102.5 The Game. Hour number 3, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Monday, continuing our reaction to a wild football weekend. And we say hello, as always, at this time to John McClain. He's presented by Maple Street Biscuits. Wake up to wow. John, how you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. I didn't think I'd be able to survive Saturday and those 3 incredible college football endings. And then yesterday was quite exciting as well, at least for 2 of the games. And now we got 2 games, starting with the Texans hosting the Buccaneers, then the Chargers and the Raiders. So hopefully we'll have 2 more good ones tonight.
Wanted to get your thoughts. I'm sure you've seen the play by now of the Titans. Cam Ward, I mean, I equated it to that line from the movie Major League of, that was an incredible throw. Don't ever do it again. I mean, that's kind of what it was. And I mean, Brian Callahan was like, look, I mean, sometimes you got guys that can just make a play, and there were 2 of them that did it yesterday for the Titans' lone touchdown. Pretty incredible to see.
That's a great line for Major League. Exactly. That's what it was. And he showed you a little bit of what he can do. You don't want him to do it too much, but that's the kind of, not flamboyance, but just kind of plays he's capable of making that drive coaches crazy if they don't work. And when they do work, boy, they're a thing of beauty and everybody is entertained.
Well, what they said, what Brian Callahan said today when he was asked about, holding on to the ball too long, Cam trying to find the right play, he said, Cam is a hunter. And I like that, but he's obviously got to learn that sometimes you're not going to have the big play. It's not always going to be there. And that's where he's got to go to his checkdowns or get rid of the football. That to me is just a young quarterback developing.
Absolutely. He'll learn to do that. He's been able to do so much on his own in his career once he left high school here and started bouncing around college football. One reason he got better every year is because of how much he learned. And I thought that was a really good sign for whatever team that was going to draft him. And then, of course, when the Titans did, now the fans and the media, as well as the teammates and coaches, they see what he's capable of doing. They know he's going to get better, and it is got to be very exciting about the possibilities. I know that game yesterday was close till the cream rose to the top. The Rams are defending division champion for a reason. Matthew Stafford off to a great start, 2 games against the Texans and the Titans. So there's no shame in losing a game like that to a team and a quarterback like that, especially when you stay in it as long as you did.
John, when Ken Wisenhunt was here, he was let go. He had a 3-20 record in a year and a half with the Titans. Brian Callahan's now at 3-16. At what point, John, and we're not going to talk about firing of coaches and all that, but at what point does that seat get, all right, we got to see something now, because it's trending toward the Ken Wisenhunt way because the records are so eerily similar, John?
I think because of Cam Ward being the first overall pick, that buys you some time. Now, if they just totally bomb out and don't win 5 or 6 games and show improvement, so his 2 bosses as well as Amy Adams Strunk don't see improvement and hope, then maybe they'd make a change. You always worry when the guys above you are not who hired you. And but when you got a rookie quarterback as exciting and talented and as hard working as Ward is, I think he's going to improve enough where they'll win a few games.
John, is looking back at Bud, was Pardee the only one he fired mid-season, or were there others?
You talking about as a head coach?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, he fired before I got here, Bud fired coaches like he changed underwear. And that's one reason people were mad at him all the time. And some of those coaches, like Ed Hughes, who went on to be an assistant with the Bears, 85 Super Bowl champion, wouldn't even let it be used in his media guide that he was the head coach of the Oilers. It just was nowhere in there. And Jack Pardee was fired, let's see, 10 games. He and Kevin Gilbride, the offensive coordinator, were fired 10 games into the season. That's when Jeff Fisher took over.
John, as we look around the AFC South, I think, and I know we're only 2 games in, but I think there's something special happening in Indianapolis. I know they're playing in the honor of Jim Irsay. This football team isn't that bad. And when you put all that together, and sometimes you need a motivating thing, you need something to play for, this might be a real good story. Again, I know it's early, John, but the fact they're 2-0 looking the way they are right now, not bad.
It's already a good story because of Daniel Jones, who, of course, never played for Irsay, but Jones, it shows you that Shane Steichen, the reason they hired him is because they thought he was a good play caller and a good quarterback coach. And then he got Anthony Richardson. And it's pretty clear, based on what we see, they might have been farther along if Richardson had never been drafted. And I don't even know who their quarterback would have been. I don't think they punted. And that game yesterday, they got a huge break. They should have lost. Penalty call for leverage, gets the kick again, gets to win. They start off 2-0. Everybody's fired up as they should be because Daniel Jones is playing really well. We knew they had a great running game, and Jonathan Taylor is tremendous as always. He's got receivers. They got a good defense, but it's one of the great early season stories. You know, like 3 teams in the NFC West are unbeaten, and the other one, Seattle, is 1-1. So I love to watch the start of the season to see how many people get really fired up and are let down, and how many people are let down, their teams turn around, and they get really fired up.
John, want to pass on that just seeing this, Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero reporting Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy suffered a high ankle sprain. He's considered week to week. Carson Wentz is expected to start for Minnesota coming up. I believe they play the Bengals coming up next week. So wanted to pass that along. Interesting to see Carson Wentz get another start in the NFL.
He's had enough of them, and ever since he was supposed to be the MVP and he went down and Nick Foles took his place, he's never been the same as he's bounced around like a pinball. But it's some point early on he proved he could play, but I think they're glad they signed him. It was late when they did it. I feel bad for McCarthy. I'm guessing that he looked bad, and one of the reasons is he was injured, and it's too bad because after that first game, everybody was ready to anoint him. After last night, they're ready to bench him.
Yep. Real quick before we go to the break, it looks like Joe Burrow is going to miss 3 months. What do you think Cincinnati does? Do they ride it with Browning like they did a few years ago, or do you think Cousins could be in play? What does Cincinnati do?
No, they go with Jake Browning. He's won before. He pulled this one out against Jacksonville despite throwing 3 interceptions. He is their guy.
We will have more with John McClain on the NFL coming up next here on Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Monday, continuing our conversation with John McClain, who, of course, is presented by Maple Street Biscuits. Wake up to wow.
John, a lot of talk yesterday about the tush push and the Eagles and everything going on. I think they're going to probably ban that after the season, after the picture yesterday of the guards off sides, the center hiding the ball, everything that's going on. Your thoughts on the tush push and what it could mean going forward? Because it's a big topic yesterday.
I think it only needed 2 votes to get rid of it. Roger Goodell didn't want it. I'm sure he'll get 2 votes, and they will use replay in that game to show you and exactly why they want to get rid of it. The officials blew it. It was clear as day from the camera. I don't know what you do in that instance unless the officials get on the ground. The line judge get on the ground and lay on his stomach and see if he can see it. And you can't do that. So I'm with you, Joe. It's gone after this year, so the Eagles better continue to take advantage of it.
Right. John, Thursday night, the Buffalo Bills take on the Miami Dolphins, a game in Buffalo. Just reading about what's going on in Miami right now. Everybody's upset. Nobody's happy down there. And I know 3 games into a season is not conducive to firing a coach or everything, but as the Mike McDaniel experiment run out in Miami, John?
That sure looks like it. They went to the playoffs his first 2 years. He was viewed as a creative, innovative, offensive play caller, and now the bloom is off that rose. Tua Tagovailoa is not playing well, throwing too many interceptions, and if he's not playing well, that offense is not going to work. And right now, it's not working. They should have beaten the Patriots, a team with not a lot of experience, as you guys know, but instead, Mike Vrabel got his first victory.
John McClain is with us. So Houston hosts Tampa Bay tonight. Tampa coming in at 1-0. Houston looking for their first win of the year. What's kind of your thoughts on this matchup tonight?
Texans got an offensive problem, and that problem continues to be protecting C.J. Stroud. They have all their starters. They didn't have them in the first game. And as you guys saw, the Rams may have the best defensive line in the NFL across the board. And there's a great stat. Last year, Stroud was sacked 41.3% of the time pressured, 41.3% of the time, most in the NFL, and they were 5-14 in his career when they get pressured at least 41%. When he's pressured less than 41%, he's 14-5. So I would think that would be a big key in this game. I can tell you what it won't be. Last time the Buccaneers came in here 2 years ago, Stroud led the Texans on the game-winning drive through the winning touchdown pass to another rookie, Tank Dell, with 6 seconds left. Stroud ended up with 470 yards and 5 touchdowns, both that were rookie records. And I'm pretty sure we're not going to see another game like that tonight.
Who are you looking to step up receiver-wise? Berrios and Christian Kirk are both out. I mean, is this an opportunity to see more of Jaden Higgins?
Well, they had him out there, and he had 1 catch, and the only interception Stroud threw, it was down the field, and the DB out-wrestled Higgins for the ball. Higgins is a rookie. Jalen Noel, who was the slot receiver, a 3rd-round pick, another rookie. But they got to get Nico Collins involved. He had 3 catches and averaged 8 yards a catch in that first game. I'm pretty sure they will get him involved early and often because they're not going to beat the Buccaneers without Nico Collins having a big game.
John, your thoughts on the NFC West right now? You got San Francisco 2-0, Arizona 2-0, the Rams 2-0, Seattle's playing good at 1-1, but that Cardinals franchise, I talk all the time about, I think that's the most hapless franchise in the National Football League, but so far they're looking good, and every time I think Kyler Murray can't do anything, he proves me wrong. Your thoughts on the Cardinals?
The only loss in that division was Seattle losing to the 49ers. Now, you talk about teams that get hot early. People get fired up about them. I think the Cardinals will be one of those teams. I got to see them do it before I actually believe in them because right now I don't because you use the word hapless, and that's what that franchise has been for so long under Bill Bidwell and his son Michael Bidwell. And they've been stockpiling high draft picks, and so far Kyler Murray has not lived up to being the first overall pick, and they've given him a lot of weapons through the years.
You know, John, the game after you tonight, Chargers and the Raiders, you said during the summer, don't count out Pete Carroll for nothing. And the fact Raiders get a win tonight, they're 2-0. And just watching that team and the energy this 4-year-old man has put in this team, it's pretty fun to watch, John.
Wish I had that kind of energy. And I'll tell you what, if the Raiders win this game and Geno Smith has another game like he did, he had, I think, 9 completions of at least 20 yards. And if he can do that again, he'll outplay Justin Herbert. But right now, Herbert's off to that fantastic start. I expect him to keep it up, and I think the Chargers will win the game because they just have more overall talent than the Raiders do.
Yeah, that's a pretty good team they got there. John, have we got Kansas City Chiefs fatigue? And I ask that because the Sunday night game this week is the Chiefs at the Giants, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this. As fatigue set in?
I think fatigue set in on the Chiefs the way it did with the Patriots. I got so tired of covering Super Bowls in which the Patriots were in it. How many times could you do the same story? How many times do we want to hear about Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce? Get some new blood in there. Everybody wants it. And I understand why they did it, because the Chiefs just went to a 3rd consecutive Super Bowl, but they got very fortunate last year when they won so many one-score games, especially right at the end on freak plays. And at old adage, Super Bowl loser doesn't play well the next year and then go back to the Super Bowl. It looks like the Chiefs are headed in that direction.
We're talking to John McClain here on Chasing Big Joe. I watched the Cowboys and the Giants yesterday, and a fun game for sure. Cowboys end up winning it in overtime, but something curious that I'm wondering if they're going to address at some point. Only 2 sacks, only 6 quarterback pressures. John, do you think the Cowboys, they need a game-changing defensive player that could get to the quarterback? I just feel like they're missing that.
Well, of course, they're missing that. They roll the dice, and now they're 1-1 and actually played better at Philadelphia in the opener than everybody anticipated. So that was a great victory, and they're fortunate they have the best long-distance kicker in the league. And Maury, that 64-yarder he made, that would have been good from 70. It hit the net halfway up the net. So Brian Schottenheimer was talking about 70 yards if they needed it to win the game. All they got to do is get close to midfield. But they've been very entertaining. Dak Prescott has played really well, but Dak usually plays well in regular season when he's healthy.
Right. You bring up the long kicks because we're seeing that across the league. Obviously the K-balls are making a huge difference in that.
They're going to have to do something like use the dead ball in baseball back when nobody hit home runs. If you hit 10, you were known as a slugger, because either that or they're going to have to make the field longer, because I don't think anybody wants to see a field goal game. Now, if it's 64 yards, I'm all in on it. Somebody suggested one year, and I first scoffed at it, that the long ones would count more than the short ones. Chip shots would be 1 point, 64 would be 3 points. I think that'd be very exciting, but they'll never do it.
How long before we see Jackson Dart going with the Giants, because Russell Wilson not looking so good?
Well, he threw for 450 yards, and he had 1 bad pass, and that was in overtime when his deep ball looked like a punt. But the defense didn't stop him. So he's not going to be in this next game after he throws for 450. But people thought all along it might be for the 4th game. I haven't looked at their schedule lately, but if they stay in games the way they did yesterday, Dart's not going to play.
Yeah, that is for sure. We'll see. John, appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Guys, it's my pleasure as always. Thank you very much.
John McClain joining us every Monday at 2 o'clock, presented by Maple Street Biscuits. Wake up to wow. We'll react to some of what he had to say and get back into the Titans next. Chasing Big Joe, 1025 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 1025 The Game here on this Monday. I appreciate John McClain for joining us here on the program. As a DVD coming up in just a few minutes, they'll continue the Titans reaction as Brian Callahan spoke today. But we gotta address this because we didn't do it when we were talking about Vanderbilt and this whole Theo Vaughn
right
thing
That's
with
great.
Diego Pavia's mom. Like and he even tweeted today, where should I take her on the date? So we have the audio. This is what transpired. So that's how it was on the broadcast of Theo
Right.
Von and Diego Pavia's mom.
Watch the and there's a home run by Castellanos.
Yeah, Cassiano.
Yeah, that's it. So the question is, and we can have a lot of fun with this when there's short time we got.
I think this could be our question of the day tomorrow.
Yeah, as well. It's like, where does he take her to out to eat? And I tweeted to Theo Von. I said, don't overthink this. Waffle House on Donaldson Pike. Make it simple.
You know where, if it was still there, Fletcher's.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would have been
Why
great.
do you do that to me?
I'm sorry.
I'd forgotten all about Fletcher's until right there.
No, you haven't.
The best cardboard pizza in America, but it was my cardboard pizza.
Yeah.
It was my spaghetti.
You took me there one time.
It's so good.
And it was good.
We need more Fletcher's.
Hair Metal Henry was there.
Hair Metal Henry was there. We need more Fletcher's in America. That's what
I thought you said. We need more flatulence. I was like, no,
Ah,
I think
that too. That's what
we
happens.
got enough of that.
That's what happens. But
that's coming out of Great Circle Road right now.
yeah. All right. We'll save that question tomorrow. That's a good one. But
Yeah.
but anyway, we've officially launched the Diego Pavia Heisman Trophy campaign today on the Chase and Big Joe show. On3 has tweeted out some poll they got. He's at number 5 on the poll. Marcel Reed at number 3 from him, the NBA boy that we love, man, and love his family. And he's so good. And so he's 3.
Well, we've tagged Theo Von, so we're trying to help him out here.
Good. Yeah, let him know. That's
Um,
crazy, though.
That is hilarious. Brent says Arnold's. Arnold's is a good spot.
Would you set anybody up with your mom?
No.
No.
Stay away from my mom.
Right. Exactly. No, not even whatever it takes. Stay far away. We love you, Theo, or whoever, that you're sitting up with. But no, man, I'm with you on all that. That's something else. But
That's like one of those things that, like if you're growing, like, my parents were not together and had a great relationship, but, and they both dated. But like when dad would date somebody, it's like, whatever. Mom, it's like, who are you? Like, what are your intentions with my mother?
You should always be that way. And that's it. But, this comes off because we talk about Pavia. We were at SEC Media Days. He was the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
They tried to force Arch Manning on us, but we deflected like, he ain't done anything. But Diego's done things. And so to see Vanderbilt at 3-0 right now, ranked in the top 20, I think I heard the stat today. It's the first time they've been ranked in September since 1955.
I believe that is correct.
So good for Vandy, good for Clark Lee. Keep kicking ass, because every day, every game, you make a believer out of somebody.
Yep. And this is just going to continue to get better and better. It's going to get better. Like the more, and I'm not even saying winning out. I'm just saying, like, right now, you're in the playoff conversation. And you should be. You've earned it. You have a better record than Tennessee.
Yes, you do.
You have a better SEC record. That's where you're at right now. So enjoy that. Build off that. Use that. And then obviously go out and take care. Because here's the thing. It all goes away if there's a stumble in the next 2 games.
What was
Bama's a different conversation.
Right. Remember last year, the whole thing was,
yep.
How did you lose to Georgia State? Well, Georgia State comes to town Saturday, Utah State next week. Do what good football teams do. Beat teams that you're better than. Vanderbilt's better than Georgia State. Vanderbilt's better than Utah State. Make it happen. Go down to Alabama at 5-0. You went on the road to South Carolina in a very charged environment, and you beat them. Not final score beat them. You beat them. You out-muscled them. You manhandled them. You did everything it takes to win a football game. Keep it going.
Yeah, 100%. 737-1025, and you love to see it. And look, Tennessee, it was a tough game. And I think there's things that they can learn from that game that probably will wake them up. And you're going to see, I mean, they got UAB next week. I know you don't for the head coach, but I feel bad for the players of UAB because they're going to get it taken out on them.
Too bad. I hope they beat Dilfer 100-0. 105-0. I do. We haven't seen 100 points in a game in forever, and I hope they drop 100 on Dilfer.
That would be something.
That'd be really good. Then Tennessee goes on the road, right, to Mississippi State.
And they've announced the start time for that. That'll be a 3:15 Central kick on the SEC network.
Which game?
Mississippi State.
Okay.
On September 27th.
September 27th. So, yeah.
Down in Stark, Vegas.
Your boys playing good.
They are.
I knew people that Starkville game and said that crowd in Starkville was as loud as it's ever been at Mississippi State. So, they're win games. Dr. Crane.
I just had to believe to see it. That was it.
Pound your chest, buddy. It's okay.
I'll ring a cowbell instead.
Believe.
Well,
by the way, I wasn't here Friday. Did you bring up the cow milking competition?
We tried to avoid it as much as we could.
You guys tried hard. I mean, you and Jay.
Yeah, I mean, look, I got family down in Mississippi that was ashamed of me, and I just said, look, y'all never made me do this when I was young, so
not easy.
Like, especially when you're about to get your face kicked off or pooped on.
I walked over, and the cow lifted her. She was a female. Lifted her leg. I'm like, there goes Chase. Broken jaw and all. There he goes.
Like, the look on Joe's face was like, I'm gonna have to call his mom. I'm gonna have to explain. Look, I made him do this, and he's
all right.
Got a concussion. Like
I'd never seen a cow lift its leg that high. I'm like,
well, I think it because so here's what happened. I watched the ladies from Channel 2 that ended up winning, and they were like talking to their cow and like rubbing her and making her get used to them and stuff. And so I start doing that, thinking like, oh, this is what you should do. And she about kicks my face.
Little pillow talk.
Yeah, like
surprised you didn't start snoring.
Yeah, I got that fixed.
Did we?
It's close. Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, I mean, it everything takes forever these days,
right?
Like, but
I am so happy.
Yeah,
for
I'm
you.
getting the thing, the CPAP thing, and yeah, I'll be good.
No more Queen Mary leaving the port. No more of that. Praise God. This is a great day.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll let you know. I'll let you know when
I'm so happy for you.
I'm happy for me too.
Good.
615-737-1025. Eric wants to weigh in on the college football rankings.
Yes.
Eric, what's up?
Hey guys, first of all, the repeat champions from last year from Channel 2, and also I loved when you played the streak. Get out on a snow code, yeah. But here's the thing, guys, y'all were talking about the fact that Vanderbilt should be ranked higher. Why in the world is Notre Dame still in the top 25 at 0-2? Makes no sense to me. They should not be in the top 25. I'm sorry, but I guess they're looking at the fact. Well, they lost two good teams, Miami and Texas A&M. And wouldn't it be wild, guys, if Vanderbilt Tennessee game in the last game of the year, the winner got to the playoffs and the loser was out?
I'd love it.
That'll definitely happen, but that's why. But just explain to me why Notre Dame's still in the top 25 at 0-2. Guys, y'all take care. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Eric.
You already know.
Because they're Notre Dame.
And they got a big TV contract.
Yeah.
You already know. It all play. I go back. Let me started on Paul Hornung winning the Heisman Trophy in 56. There's no way he should have beat Johnny Majors in 56. And somebody told me around that lived in that time said majority of the sports writers in 1956 were Catholic. And they voted for Paul Hornung. Notre Dame was 2-8. And he had a decent season. Majors was part of a really good football team and had a better year and came in second. Notre Dame's got a massive TV contract. And look, they did play Miami. They played A&M, but they lost. You're 0-2, and you already know that money talks and that contract talks.
Will in Clarksville is trying to get me riled up here.
About cow milking?
Nope. Little brother only won because they purposely took the quarterback out, and UGA only won because of the refs.
Oh,
if you truly believe that, Will, come on now.
Yeah, Will, you're better than that. I tell you that every day.
Yeah, you're better than that. Because they were beating South Carolina before Sellers got hurt. Vanderbilt dominated that game.
And
deserved to win that game.
Yep.
And I look, there probably were some calls in that Tennessee Georgia game, but no, you lost the game because your kicker missed a kick and you couldn't stop them on fourth down.
Because you played for a
Quarterback
dumb
made
field
a
goal.
hell of a throw.
Yep.
But couldn't stop him.
Don't play for field goals. Play to win.
So there you go. Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is and celebrity birthdays. Put a bow on today's show. It's Chasing Big Joe, presented by Omni 102.5 The Game. Jason Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Monday. I just counted this. It's just crazy to me that the SEC has 11 teams in the AP top 25.
Great. There we go. Mike on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they got 16 teams in conference now. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's.
But I did find it weird that South Carolina, I mean, they lost, but to go from 11th to out.
So South Carolina, Mississippi State, Kentucky, Florida, and is it Missouri that's not in?
No, Missouri's in. They're 23rd.
Who is out? Who's the fifth team that's out? Texas, Oklahoma, A&M, LSU.
Arkansas.
Look at you, buddy. Back there all quiet and handsome. Good job.
So this week, South Carolina, Clemson, and South Florida all dropped out.
What's the big SEC game this week? Next week, it's Georgia and Alabama.
This week, the big SEC game of the week.
I know game day is going to Miami.
Let's see. Arkansas plays Memphis. UAB, Tennessee. 2:30 is Auburn, Oklahoma in Norman.
Ooh.
That'll be a good game. 2-3-0 team.
Isn't Auburn's quarterback the former Oklahoma? I like the drama. Does Florida go to Miami?
Yes. That is that Saturday night.
This is a game Florida wins. This is a game Florida goes down and win because they're like,
Miami's only a 3-point favorite.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yep. LSU hosts Southeast Louisiana.
Yeah, man.
Missouri, South Carolina. That game's going to be in Columbia, by the way.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh,
see what I did
finally
there?
got the joke from that one.
Tulane takes on Ole Miss in Oxford. That might be a good game. Tulane's pretty good.
Last year, Tulane had them, and then Ole Miss rallied back and won the game. But yeah, it's pretty good.
Yep. So there you go. With that, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays. And of course, as always, it is brought to you by Jarrett Companies, Inc. Their commercial plumbing and HVAC divisions covers all refrigeration, service, and maintenance needs. JarrettCompaniesInc.com, above and beyond industry standards.
All right. First on the list, we have Google.com Day. So shout out to Google.
Is this when Google launched?
I guess so. Yeah. Greenpeace Day.
Google it.
You're funny. International Day of Democracy. Butterscotch Cinnamon Pie Day. That sounds pretty good.
That does sound good.
International Dot Day. So if you like polka dots, enjoy
I was like, dot or diet? I couldn't tell you.
Dots. Sorry. I need to pronunciate better.
Like Dots
Excuse me.
pretzels. I love Dots pretzels. Oh, yeah.
Those are good. Make a Hat Day. So if you like making balloon hats, there you go. National Caregivers Day is today. Shout out to the caregivers. National Cheese Toast Day. Delicious. National Cream Day Mint Day. All right. National Double Cheeseburger Day is today.
What is it with you and cream days?
Yeah, right?
It's just like French people. They have to pronounce.
Yeah, what
things
about
weird.
them?
I don't know. They just
like rich people. You ain't better off. Mo Sizlak advice.
Next is National Felt Hat Day. So it's a different type of hat.
You touch me, I'm smacking you.
That's what she said. National Linguine Day is today. So if you like linguine pasta, you can put it in some nice. There you go. National Online Learning Day. So if you learn from home, nerd. National Tactical Kids National Tackle Kids Cancer Day. Always a good thing to do that. National Thank You Day is today. So send your thank you notes. Someday is what it says. So I guess today is someday. And to wrap it up, to Chris Sanders, World Afro Day. Didn't he have one of those back in the day?
He says he had one of the best ones of all time.
So there you go.
Yeah.
World Afro
Hey,
Day.
real quick, I meant to mention this. Josh Pate put out his top candidate for the UCLA job, and I think it would be fantastic if it was him because he knows LA. Ed Orgeron.
Yeah.
I mean that.
Do you want to win or you want to be a goofball?
Well, he's won. You get the right people.
You could have won on that LSU team in 19.
You get the right people.
Burrow, Chase.
And that was before NIL.
You're right. Good Lord. All right, time for celebrity birthdays.
NIL.
You got to get these within 2 years on either side of the birthday. Our first birthday, the great Tommy Lee Jones. How old is Tommy Lee Jones?
82.
88.
79. The great director, we talked about him before the show, Oliver Stone. How old is Oliver Stone? He directed JFK.
70 and many other things. 74.
77.
79. Dr. Crane's up the board, 1-0.
Every outhouse, in-house, penthouse.
Yeah, all right. Actor Josh Charles. He was on that sports show they did it was really good. They took it off. He's been on a bunch of movies and stuff. I'm trying to figure out which one he was in.
53.
50.
54. God, I'm leaving out one show he was on. All right, we're tied at 1. Tom Hardy. How old is Tom Hardy?
42.
50.
48. Dr. Crane's up 2-1. He's really good. Mad Max, Fury Road.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie.
I like him.
This guy looks just like Carson Wentz. How old is Prince Harry?
That was a turn. Prince Harry is 41.
38.
41 exactly. Chase is an Anglophile. Is that somebody who loves all things England? Chase is up 3-2. Well done. Heidi Montag. She was on that show with Spencer Pratt, the reality show in California. God, I don't remember the name of this.
37.
42.
39. Chasers storm back up 4-2. The Hills? Maybe that was it.
Mm.
Screenwriter director Ron Shelton. He did Bull Durham, White Man Can't Jump. 10 Cup.
68.
62.
80 years old. The great drummer of Night Ranger, Kelly Keagy, sang Sister Christian.
55.
63.
73. Oh my goodness. There's some others here. All right, DJ KG from Naughty by Nature. Chase, you should get this one.
56.
60.
56. 6-2. Chasers up. Let's see. I don't know anybody. All right, time for the sports part of this. We're going to flip it around. Dr. Crane, you get to go first.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Dan Marino, the greatest quarterback in the history of the National Football League, according to Big Joe. How old is Dan Marino today?
67.
60. That's pretty good. 65.
64. Chase up 7-2. Former Titans coach, Browns running back Ernest Biner.
63.
58.
63 exactly. Chase up 9-2. All right, Dr. Crane, you get to go first here.
Yeah, sorry.
Mike Dunleavy Jr.
I'm going to go with 46.
44.
All right, it's 45. That's a push. Our last one, Dr. Crane, I'll default to you to go first now. Hall of Famer, Kansas City Chiefs player Will Shields. Will Shields. I think he's in the Hall of Fame. He should be. If he's not, damn good.
73.
68.
54. Chaser wins 9-2, man. Well done to start off the week.
Thank you very much. Without further ado, let's get to our mashup today. Or
there we go.
Well done. Well done, Dr. Crane. Speaking of the Law and Order theme, so the race was at Bristol Saturday night. The drivers get to pick their walkout songs. Denny Hamlin, who owns 2311 with Michael Jordan, they're in a lawsuit with NASCAR. Denny walked out to the Law and Order theme, and it was fantastic. So good.
Anytime you control it makes me laugh. I love
so good. That is going to do it for us today. More Titans reaction with DVD live at Circa coming up next.
Hey, as we always leave our show to the guys out there, if you are struggling, going through some things, look, reach out, talk to somebody. We're so grateful for the men who've reached out and talked to us the last 2 years. I tell you all the time, our world is a better place because you are here. Keep talking to us. Keep knowing how beautiful you are, how wonderful you are. We tell you all the time, keep praying because your situation can change in an instant. Miracles happen every second of every day. You're the miracle. We love you. More importantly, more than anything else in this world, God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. Live from Circa, Kentucky. DVD is next. 102.5 The Game.